Nah. Zone of Fear. Zone of Fear. Whenever the navigator is over the lava, the degradation is reduced by 1. Not been used this combat, the navigator gains 2 perception. Higher than agility, the dodge is calculated using perception instead. Nah. 5 damage from all attacks of opportunity and cannot dodge them. Allies. The navigator gains 5 fellowship and an additional 1 fellowship for every navigator talent. Allies. 1 additional damage for every 5 bonus characteristic of the navigator's currently equipped staff. Whenever an enemy fails a resistance test against the navigator's power attack against them, gain 30% critical hit chance. The effect stacks but is reset by a critical hit. That's cool. That is cool. I have Eye of Oblivion. I have Mind over Matter. Perilous Ways. Suffer 4 damage at the end of the movement. This damage is increased by 1 for every cell the enemy moves. Open to the warp. Oh. In combat, gain extra turn. The navigator gains a stacking 5 bonus to willpower until the end of the combat. Stacks up to 5 times, but to a maximum of 25 willpower. That is cool. Damn it. That's cool. Knowledge about the nature of warp and tides and their twisted physical manifestation may give access to new dialogue option. Awareness. And you, my dear Idira. Awareness. Intelligence. Mind Siege. You don't need actually tech use when I have Huneman. So maybe Lore Warp. Okay, there are most possible willpower resistant tests, 5 penalty, or on their next turn they will spend all their movement points to move as close as possible toward the Psyker. See. Mind Breach. Gaining more damage than the target's wounds, then exceed damage will be dealt to the enemy closest to the target. Target with any particular psychic ability for the first time, this enemy suffers 5 penalty to the intelligence and perception, and the psychic's intelligence and perception increased by 2. Yes, please. What is the willpower? Reflects the character ability to withstand the horrors of the world, the terror of space, and the dreadful opponents they are bound to encounter in the Coroner's Expanse. High willpower allows characters to exert control over a crowd or interrogate a heretic. It also increases the chances of resisting negative mental effects and psychic powers. Nah. Perception. Okay. Right now I have... Link your account. Okay. Don't link any accounts. Oh, there is loot. There is a loot? Which I don't know. Chartists are complete. The Fairy Reckoning is now fully equipped. Equipable. The object has been loaded aboard with its containment intact and placed in the fore bay to ensure maximum contact with the target. Received by the bridge. Target's estimated time of arrival is in the system. The Fairy Reckoning is crowded by a servitor having chances of ship returning are minimal. What is this? I will take them with me. Chagrin is irrelevant. Voigtvir's mistake cost me too much. Years of work, tremendous resources, all wasted. He has failed at what he was supposed to be irreproachable at. Uncovering spies, and this one was a senior officer. I am not about to discard him. Conrad has served me for too long for his removal to go painlessly for the Protectorate. Besides, he is no fool. He could not have seriously expected to become the next in the von Valencia's line, when his skills and talents as Master of Whispers are so valuable. Let this disinheritance serve as a humiliating but instructive lesson from which he may yet learn. And he didn't learn anything. I can get from here to... Nope. Nope, I cannot. I would love to have this painting on my wall. In my room. I can change appearance. There is my crate. My loot crate. Yeah, this is a vault. Rough bloody sketch. Yay, all the backers. Ticking of the chrono seems too quiet for its bulky size. It is too quiet. Okay, so I believe I had problems with Call of the Edge. Weapon clearly has a significant role to play in the future ordained by the waiver of destinies. Defective servitors. The unusual behavior of the servitors should be discussed with the High Factotum Janris Danrok, who is responsible for all assets on board the Void ship. Jokasta Yanis. Where are you? Where are you? Yanis. Janris. The corpulent man in lavish clothes bows before you. Not without difficulty, a servoscope whirs over his shoulder while the finger of his augmented hand drum against the sheaf of papers he is holding, and he regards you with attentive interest through the lens of his magnifying implant. Greetings, your lordship. Janris Danrok at your service. Vigdis informed me about the problem with the servitors. What happened? You see, your lordship, the ship's servitors have been malfunctioning of late. They violate protocols, interrupt their tasks, observe crew members for long periods of time, and move erratically with no meaning of purpose. Janris Danrok nervously pulls on his luxurious frock coat as if it were uncomfortably tight. Had it been a routine technical fault, I would have decided the fate of these servitors myself, but I deemed it necessary to notify you. I do not wish to hide such irregularities from the Lord Captain. If you wish to observe the servitors' unusual behavior before you decide their fate, this can be arranged. The majority of the defective units have been delivered to one of the storage compartments pending your decision. Pascal Huneman expressed the desire to be present during the inspection should it be carried out. I suppose the expertise of the esteemed Magus may come in handy. I should take a look at these servitors, but not right away. I wish to take a look on those. As you wish, your lordship. Would you like the Engineer Prime to accompany you? Yes, Pascal shall come with me. As your lordship commands. When his lordship arrived at the scene, he found the servitors in the same position that they assumed after they had been corralled into the bay, all standing in a long spiraling line and facing the center of the strange formation. The moment his lordship crossed the threshold of the bay gates, Cola. This goddamn cat. Their bodies jerked into motion, all as one. As if obeying command, the servitors turned to face the Lord Captain. The technomats tasked with overseeing the defective units even reached for the weapons. But then, the servitors went still just as abruptly, staring at his lordship with vacant eyes. All present held their breath. Disturbed by this sight, we waited for Lord Captain to speak. His lordship, Oscar von Valencius, took several steps toward the servitors. Immediately, the servitors, each and every one of them, stepped toward the Lord Captain in perfect unison. They mimicked his movement with frightening precision. The rogue trader halted in place, and after a moment's thought, waved his hand, and the servitors, just as synchronously, repeated the gesture as well. When the Lord Captain turned quizzically, the technomats, so did the servitors, as if mocking him. Whenever the lordship, whatever the Lord Captain did, be it an incline of the head, a wave of a hand, or a step to the side, the defective units repeated it without a moment's delay or hesitation, like grotesque marionettes controlled by an unseen puppeteer. We observed this mime unfold in distressed bafflement for nearly a minute until the servitors finally come to stop. Not sensing any threat from them, the rogue trader approached with confidence. Examine the servitors. As high factotum, it was I who had prompted the entire inspection, and thus it was my duty to follow the Lord Captain. As we stepped closer, we noticed a fascinating irregularity. The servitors' pupils, normally steel, were shaking wildly. Their bulging veins were pulsating under the copper collars inscribed with their past offenses. It was as if those mindless half-machines were locked in a perpetual state of extreme tension. A visibly shaken technomat behind us proposed that the human souls had awakened within the servitors' bodies after a long slumber deep within their lobotomized brains. Formerly bereft of intelligence, they had attained awareness, feeling, and understanding. After a pause, the technomat added that the servitors used to function properly, and that no one had been able to explain the change in their behavior. His gaze still trained on the motionless but animate half machines and half people. The Lord Captain drew an iridescent blade, one I had seen before, and as if following some unheard command, plunged it into the nearest servitor. The moment the blade sliced open the pale flesh, a wild howl washed over the cargo bay. We heard the screeching and crackling of servo motors. As if having regained the ability to feel pain, the wounded servitor struggled to open its slow mouth, but all it could muster was a stifled moan of horror. The Lord Captain's victim fell to the metal deck, and all the other servitors came crashing down with it. We all felt the grip of an otherworldly bone-chilling cold. As I met the technomat's fearful gaze, I realized that none of those present had any explanation for what had just transpired. The Engineer Prime proceeded to the center of the spiral of servitor bodies, stood over them grimly, studying their lifeless faces, and spoke thus. This deck phenomenon warranted comprehensive study. Further investigation has been rendered impossible. Perhaps it was a trick of my imagination, but I thought I caught a semblance of sorrow in his gaze in that moment. The Lord Captain, seemingly not attaching any importance to the situation, sheathed the blade and left the cargo bay without a word. Oh, I killed them. I killed them all. Well. Straight line. The deaf cultists have pointed out where on the lower decks the path of the matriarch spider began. The right line. Thus it must likewise serve as the starting point of the Lord Captain's journey to the Temple of Death. Which lies somewhere in the depths of the void ship. However, the hallowed cradle of death will only reveal itself to one who has walked in the footsteps of Saint Ariane, the matriarch spider. Okay. Become a god to your subjects. The crew losses suffered during the cultist raid can be remedied on record my notice. Okay, let's go. So I killed my guard. Let's go to the Thunderfront. Or maybe... Can I should. Can I buy something from those guys? Please, let me buy. Yes! Quartz Kramer! Come on. Continue. What do you wish to tell me? The tech priest says, sharply and curtly, haphazard and careless decision on the part of the Rykard Minoris governor have led to unacceptable consequences. Communication with the Adeptus Mechanicus Sanctum has been lost. Troops must be sent to the hallowed electrodynamic cenobium without delay, restoring communication with the electro-priests and ensuring the Sanctum's security are our top priority. You are the head of Rogue Trader Dynasty. Your position enables you to exert influence. The tech priest pauses for a moment. And pressure on the subjects of the Imperium. Unit Quartz Cram request assistance. The actions of the Governor Faisal Rykard Rekadia Medina of Coronus must be influenced. Demand that troops be sent to the Holy Monastery of the Adeptus Mechanicus. I observe that this world's authorities lack diligence in the performance of their duties. The statement is true. United in the denunciations and brimming with righteous criticism, the pair in red exchange knowing not. What will I get in return? The governor is carrying out his immediate duties. I do not intend to interfere. Tech priest stares at you without blinking. Awareness of the fact that the rogue trader did not stand aside and has influenced the future of the hallowed electrodynamic cenobium, including the possible rescue of the most holy priests. Unit Quartz Kramer can promise no more. What are you doing here? What is the Cognizance fleet? Do you know anything about the tech priest Abel Huneman? Has had no previous communication with Unit Abel Huneman. The memory sector contains other data related to this quarry. Various resources and data storage devices of interest have been exerted by the standing army of Rykard Minoris for preservation purposes. The command center currently hosts a cogitator that was used by Unit Abel Huneman. Appeal to the cogitator's spirits for further information. Show me what you got. Select tradable options. And what we can get. Balanced Maul. No thank you. And we can buy nothing. Soul Siphon. If used by a Psyker, whenever the sword hits an enemy, Veil degradation is reduced by 1. The sword deals additional 0 psi rating damage. Most warriors prefer swords to provide more flexibility on the battlefield against close combat enemies. Yeah. Using a single or dead-eye shot, the nearest enemy immediately gains 1 exploit. Nah. I cannot buy this. Bolt pistol. Modified bolter. Let's check it. No, my bolter has more stuff. My bolter is better than your bolter. Is better. This bunker is under the control of the arbiters. Okay, greetings, your lordship, says the governor in a dismal voice, glancing reflexively at Solomorn. Profit factor gain 5. I can't express how grateful I am for your help. Now that the insidious heretics' designs have been thwarted, nothing stands in the way of my plans or yours. With Aurora dead, the spirits of revolt is waning. Entire squads of rebels are surrendering. We are witnessing the final days of the uprising. I have already signed the order to allocate 2,000 first-class void farers to you. The transfer to your ship should begin any meetings now. I would also like to salute the savior of Ryked Minoris and have already given the order for a celebration to be held in your honor. We will mark your victory with an ancient custom, the triumph. You will drive through the city streets accompanied by a guard of honor, as befits a hero who has vanquished the Imperium's enemies, while your trophies will be displayed to the jubilant crowd. Let me know once you have concluded your businesses in the system and are ready for the triumph to begin. Governor Medine is positively ablaze with enthusiasm. In regards to your own participation in the triumph, Governor, you will accompany us to the starport to provide timely answers to any question that may occur to me as I inspected the terminal there. That being said, you should appear before your subjects at least once at the end of the ceremony. Doing so will help to maintain order. There is no reason to let the people know that the world may soon be in for a change of leadership. I have other businesses in the system. Then I daren't delay you any further, your lordship. So, as we gained 18. Cool. When the wearer uses run and gun, they gain 1 damage on their range attacks. Why, thank you. That is actually great. Modified lasgun. I don't need any lasgun. Ceramite Stormtrooper Carapace. Armor deflection 1, dodge penalty half, 45% armor. Can't be equipped by this character. Base armor property 1 deflection against human enemies. Meh. 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 It's meh. But wait.
Embrace true power.
Let's go. Let's go to that void ship. The pirate ship. Thunderfang. Yes. Let's go to the Thunderfang. And I can buy more. Flak chest plate. 5 armor if the wearer has no cover, 10% parry. That's 11, 11, 16, 16, 15. Damn it. Trade with them. Damn it. Nothing good came from it. What is this? Points of interest detected. Artificial facility. No.